The number one thing that I wish I had known before starting my journey at GOA would probably be to try and set aside a window of time every single day to give yourself a chance to check Canvas, check all your assignments, and check and respond to your twist messages. It's super important that you try to respond to your twist messages as soon as you can because your team is counting on you to be able to organize maybe a Zoom meeting or work on a project together. And also checking Canvas every day will help make sure that you have enough time to complete all your assignments, and it will help with time management so that you don't feel as stressed or overwhelmed if maybe you have a lot of assignments due in a certain week, because then you can kind of space it out over the week.
One thing I wish I had known at the start of my GOA learning journey would have been to kind of have a window of time set for times where I can meet with my peers or with my teachers for different virtual meetings, because as someone who lives in Europe, it is kind of hard to match up your schedule with maybe a student living in the US or maybe for a student living in Japan, where the time difference can vary from 6 to 9 hours, and it's just hard to figure out two schedules. So if you find a window of time where you're available and kind of announce that to your peers and your teachers, it makes it a lot easier to schedule different meetings with anyone you really need to.
So when asked about what's the number one thing that I wish I would have known when I started my learning journey at GOA, it would be how fun and the great amount of content that it covers. Since GOA, it's like the whole name is called Global Online Academy, so when you're in classes, when you're in a course, you never know where your classmates are from. For example, last year I took my GOA course when I was in China, and I had many friends who were my classmates that had taken my similar course when they are in, for example, United States, when they're in India. There's one guy from like Dubai or something. That's just very interesting.
One piece of advice I would offer for those entering a GOA course is to honestly look ahead at the beginning of each week and really spend time scheduling when you're going to do what assignment. You may not realize that some assignments may take longer than you realize until you really read the instructions, so taking that into account is very important. The last thing I would advise is honestly to stay on top of your work, which sounds obvious, but because you don't go to a physical classroom every day like you may with your other classes at school, it's easy to forget due dates and get behind on your assignments. And because GOA courses are typically one semester or over the summer, they're fast-paced, so if you have one missing assignment, things will get stressful because your workload will begin to kind of snowball.
And another thing is that make sure to communicate actively with your teammates and your teacher, so we can get things done faster and you can, learn more effectively. And lastly, please submit your tasks early when you're doing a task such as discussion. It really helps because your fellow teammates can provide more feedback, and your teacher can also provide some feedback and reply to your post or when you're doing those tasks earlier.
Do not be afraid to reach out to your teacher. They are so willing to help and they want to make this class really fun for you. So if you have any questions, feedback, or anything, I think don't ever be afraid to reach out because we want this class to be as fun as possible for you. I've taken both medical problem solving courses and I've loved it so much and definitely have made some friends through it too. So while it is also a great learning opportunity, it's also something fun where you can further explore something you're passionate about. Enjoy your course!